Hey guys, in this video I'm just going to go over Diablo 4 Season 4 Loot Reborn itemization rework. Kind of go over my character, and then people who haven't played the game in a long time, you'll kind of get the gist of it. So I'll just kind of run through it all. So itemization kind of reworked all the way across the board. I would say it's honestly probably better than what I've expected out of Diablo 4. So I would say it's over my personal expectations. I think they've done a pretty decent job here. Items are kind of fun now, surprisingly, and the crafting's kind of decent, so I think it could still be much improved on, expanded on if they keep, reiterating and building on it. I think it could become pretty decent. So basically what they did is legendary items now have just 3 affixes. As you can see, like crit chance, attack speed, and armor on these gloves, and like on these pants. You see all these like weird colors and symbols by stuff. I'll go over that. So basically legendary items max 3 affixes by base. And then you can temper on these items immediately in the game, as long as you have the mats and the gold. So tempering is, you see that little anvil next to like, ancestral items can get 2. Otherwise, items can only get 1 temper. So I already did all this stuff in the game in about 50 hours. I don't really see a reason to play more. So kind of pulling the plug here, but let me see if I can show you the what the tempering kind of looks like. So tempering is like you go here after you get the legendary item. And you just kind of like run through this, and then it shows you like the possible outcomes, and you only get so many clicks of these, so you're kind of like an RNG, you can kind of brick your item, and that's kind of satisfying and good. And then not only that, if you're like a real min-maxer, you're trying to also get like, say, I was trying to get challenging shout on a lot of my items. So I'd roll this, 1 and 3 to hit challenging shout, and then it's 1 and 5 to hit the max value. Max value matters a lot. So you're just kind of like micro min-maxing constantly, and just trying to build up your character as much as possible. It's kind of satisfying. My only gripe is where you get the materials. I don't find that content very enjoyable. That's the pit. I'll go over that a little bit later. But for, basically legendary items, they get 3 affixes. You can temper 2 affixes, extra affixes on ancestral gear. Otherwise, it can only hit 1, like at the base of the game. And then after you've tempered 2 mods that you like, you can still enchant and reroll 1 affix, one of the 3 base affixes on the item. So like your life, fury per second, or defensive skills, just like you could before in the vanilla version. And then after that, the big in-game for this min-maxing armor or gear is masterworking. So masterworking is this. Basically, let me see if I can find an item that hasn't fully filled out. So it costs a lot of mats. These mats only come from the pit. So you can only masterwork if you do pit runs. So pit runs are kind of like the in-game. They're very similar to like greater rifts from Diablo. But masterworking, just kind of every rank of masterworking, as you can see, 5 out of 12, 12 is the max. Every level is 5%, other than 4, 8, and 12 on the masterwork. At thresholds 4, 8, and 12, it randomly picks an affix, including the tempered mods, and it increases that by 25%. So it's like 5, 5, 5, 25, 5, 5, 5, 25. But the it's 5% to all the affixes, and then it's 25 to 1 random. So in the case of like this Harlequin Crest that I got from Duriel, which it hit life 2 times because it's 12 out of 12. On 8 and 12 it hit life, and then on the like 4 out of 12 it hit cooldown to boost it 25%. So like I think even, I don't know exactly if you can hit it like 3 times in a row. Like you could hypothetically maybe hit cooldown 3 times in a row. You can definitely hit it twice. I've never hit one 3 times in a row, but you're kind of like just trying to get the right mods. And on the masterworking part, if you don't like what you hit, you can reset it. Like this, costs a lot of mats, 5 million gold, a lot of gold. Everybody needs more gold. So kind of like an endless kind of like grinding min-max thing if you want to get into it. So that's how I was able to get about 50 hours out of the game. I could tweak up this character a bit more if I wanted to, but I think I've run my course. Don't find the pit enjoyable. But that's basically the itemization rework, and then all the other stuff is kind of like basically the same. So itemization, I would say pretty good. It's kind of fun. My only gripe is I don't enjoy doing the pit. I think it's really boring. It's more boring than greater rifts. So basically, if I were to just like, I'll just go in one. I'll just show you. So like, to get the best mats, you only have to do tier 61. But if you go up a couple tiers higher, you'll get like what do you call it? You get more mats for the masterworking. And this is the only place to get these masterworking mats in the entire game. So pit is kind of like a greater rift in Diablo. timer, boss at the end, mobs you kill, no loot until you're done. But my biggest issue with this is it's not fun. It's really boring, and it's 100% linear and predictable. So what's going to happen is I'm going to walk through this. I'm just going to fight like a pack of white mobs, and then like 3 elites at once. And it's that on loop until you fight the boss, and there's a shrine once in a while. That's the whole thing. No variance whatsoever, so 3 elites right here. And then you're gonna find some white mobs probably around this corner. White mobs, pack of white mobs, couple of white mobs here and there, and then anytime you run into an elite pack, it's just 3 elites, and it never varies outside of this, so it makes it really... And you have to do a lot of these runs to really gear up your character. Like, I've probably done a couple hundred pit runs, and yeah, I still have more to do for my current gear. So, like I said, very predictable, very boring, very bland, I think. Helltides have been revamped so many times in this game, and I think Helltides are probably the best, like, feeling, like, action combat in the game, but maybe they can reiterate this and make it a little more interesting, a little more fun, give it a couple revamps, but most of the time it's just mindless. I feel like this is just really mindless, boring content, I think. The reward structure and the masterworking, I think, is good, genuinely pretty good, but the pit is quite boring. It's just the same thing. You don't really think much. You just kind of like run through, kill the monsters. Once in a while you get a pylon or a shrine, whatever, like I said. And then you just do this till the bar fills up, then you fight the boss. It's basically 1-to-1 with Diablo 3's Greater Rift system. That's the pit. What else did they do this season? You get way more boss mats, so you can do a lot more bosses. That's cool, and they added like a little bit stronger versions of the boss, the like tormented versions. They're not that much more difficult than the base version, and for reference, I could beat all of the base versions of the bosses immediately as soon as I hit 100, and it was effortlessly easy on all of them. The tormented versions of the bosses take more mats, and they give more rewards. It's kind of worth it to always do it once your character's strong enough. But I don't think they're anything like that fancy. They become face roll level really quickly as soon as you have a decent amount of gear. So, kind of go into like this just loop of doing pit runs, doing some boss runs, you know, as you need your unique items, and you can actually craft your own Uber eatings. I think that even existed in the last season. Like I said, though, I didn't even play hardly any last season, but this is basically a full pit run. You're going to do hundreds of these and get some items at the end. This is a greater affix. I don't know if I talked about the greater affix thing. So like the greater affix thing here, pick the dodge chance is like, I don't know exactly the percentage, it's like 25% higher value or something like that. And you can get this on each affix. It's pretty rare. It's like maybe 1 in 10, 1 in 20 items that drop. See that my Shaco actually got it whenever it dropped on the cooldown. So it's like extra boosted. These pants have 2 mods, the max life and the fires. So the greater affix thing, you know, the itemization is definitely much improved. These are the mats for masterworking, and you just do a billion of these, lots of them. Consume a lot of gold. I kind of like the gold relation in the game. I think it's pretty good. I definitely wouldn't want less gold in the game, if anything, a little bit more, but I mean, you're going to be starving for gold. But I found the best gold farming strat. So anybody who wants to know the best gold farming strat is find friends that quit the game and take their gold when they quit the game, and then carry that on. I think that's the best way to do it. It sounds retarded. It is retarded, but it's kind of like, otherwise you're farming whispers and selling items. Selling items and whispers are probably your second best strategy for farming gold. Otherwise you just have no gold to ever craft on your gear, and it's kind of miserable. But I like the itemization. I think they did a pretty decent job. Other grabs about this game that I don't like. So the pit, super fucking boring. I think it's like genuinely like 1 out of 10 enjoyment-wise. I don't care about leaderboards. I don't care about pushing, whatever people call it. Like I just want the game to be fun, and I don't find pit fun. Itemization, crafting is fun. Pit runs are not fun. Paragon board, my issues with this is like this stuff kind of sucks. The whole Paragon board system needs completely reworked, completely like deleted, reworked something. My issues with it is it's all just defense and damage, and that's really it. So still in this game, I don't really think anybody's addressed this or talked about it, but if you just quantify all of this, this is defense, 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 right? This is damage. This is defense. It's just reworded like 20 different ways, right? This is damage. This is damage, or yeah, damage and defense in one. You know, this is defense, just reworded a different way. This is just a little bit of damage, reworded a different way, and it's up to you to know like what is the best damage that you're getting. So this is like good damage right there. And then it's just constantly just like, there's nothing that really changes how your character plays, your decision making really, or anything like that. It's just damage and defense everywhere. The only little bit of an exception is like some of these, like the glyph, martial kind of has a dynamic, changes how you feel. You have more shout, cooldown stuff. Which brings me to another point. Like at the point of the pits that I was at like 109 or something, pit runs. At 109 where my character was kind of like getting really pressed, it's like, if my challenging shout is not up, I get one shot. And if my challenging shout is up, nothing does any damage to me. So it's either I'm invincible with challenging shout up, which almost has 100% uptime, not quite. And then if it's not up, then I get one shot by everything. And that's just like, I think that's just straight up bad design. It's like, hey, you're either invincible or you instantly die in one hit. That like yes or no kind of situation is bad, I think. The numbers are just, the math in this game is just really weird and not satisfying, I think. So that's my issue with that. That's really annoying. Like, it's not like I feel like I'm rewarded for pressing like my cooldowns, like challenging shout. I only feel punished if they're not up at that point in the game, right? Like when I'm doing like the highest pit runs or whatever I can do. Either my challenging shout is up and I'm invincible, or my challenging shout is not up and I get one shot by everything. Like that's just weird. But anyway, I'll go over my character, what it is. I just copy pasted Rob's Dust Devil for the most part. You know, I did some tweaks to myself for double swing, but basically, you know, we got Shaco, we got Ring of Starless Sky, so this is just, you know, we know what that does. It does a bunch of good stuff. This gives you a lot of resource, so you don't really run out of resource very much. And then we're using Ramadini's to scale Max Fury, so Max Fury gives us a lot of damage. Chest, this is just some fortified generation. I have a little bit of extra on one of my war cries. This is just damage on the, what is that, intercom. This is Iron Skin. Try to help us not get one shot all the time on Iron Skin. We don't really use a generator, we just double swing spam. This helps us keep berserking up. And this is Dust Devil stuff. You know, attack speed stuff. More Dust Devil stuff. I think there's Dust Devil stuff on my amulet as well. Then we got some Shout, Bold Chieftain, Shout cooldown stuff. You notice I have like a lot of resource generation, like Dust Devil related stuff from the tempering. You can customize your character a decent amount with the new tempering system. It's pretty decent, like I said. Paragon board stuff. I might D4 planner this if there's a link below, then I bothered to. Otherwise, you know, whatever, I didn't. So, Paragon stuff, whatever. I'm not gonna go super into it. Skills, we're 1 point double swing. I don't actually even know. I think 1 point is fine. I don't know what percentage of my damage is Dust Devils and what percentage is double swing. I don't even know if this scales up Dust Devils. I don't know crap about this game. I just do stuff. I don't care enough. This gives us a lot of resource, our rallying cry stuff, and then we got a lot of points in challenging shout. Iron Skin. Word Cry. We have a lot of plus defense skills. That's why all these Shaco plus defense skills from our chest boosts all three of these skills a lot. It's pretty strong. Got some shout stuff here. Berserking, DR, and Fury Generation. Some generic stuff, Fortify stuff, you know, damage stuff. That's basically my skill tree. I wish this stuff was way more stuff here, but I think they said they're not touching any of this stuff till like an expansion or something, but, you know. I'm not going to complain too much about the skill tree. We know it's kind of like a skill twig or whatever. It's fine. So that's basically my experience playing D4. Season 4, it's better. I still get annoyed about a lot of things in this game, but the itemization, I think it's genuinely better than what I would expect out of Diablo 4. So I'm pretty happy with the current itemization in the game. I think it's decent. Hopefully they expand on it and keep working on it, building on it. The activities in this game are kind of boring, I think, whether it be bosses, world bosses. I would say, for me, personal satisfaction, I enjoy Helltide the most, but you can't just, you know, I don't want to just be in Helltide all the time. There's other stuff to do. Pit is necessary to masterwork your gear. Farming bosses in a group is kind of chill. I don't mind doing that. So I like Helltide and doing bosses, and the bosses aren't challenging at all, really, once you have any amount of gear. So D4, it's okay. I'll play next season, check it out again. This season, decent improvement, but I got about 50 hours out of it, decent, but I really don't want to play anymore. I don't want to play another class, I don't really want to play another build. At this stage, I just spam pit forever and micro min-max my character infinitely, and I'm not down to do that too long. I did it for maybe like 15 hours or so, 20 hours, and that's about it. GG.